Greetings. This is Serving Camps. I'm Steve.
And I'm Angie. And this is the blessing that we have been given to live in while we serve at camps.
We've been serving camps now for many years and want to share with you our experiences along the way. Hi. In addition to last episode where we were talking about all the different things in preparing for going full-time, we have an interview that we have with friends of ours who are also full-time RVers that we're going to show.
They are also working at camps, and so it's similar ministry, but they are actually with an organization. So you'll see a little bit. They won't mention the name of the organization, but they'll talk about the organization a little bit.
So this is Terry and Lou, and they're full-timers, and they're going to share a few things about themselves.
Hi, I'm Terry, and this is Lou, and we're full-time RVers. We're part of a ministry that works about 6 hours a day, 4 days a week, and only 3 weeks out of the year, so it gives us some time off while we're still working and serving. We started on this endeavor a couple of years ago, right after COVID, and due to our circumstances, we decided to buy a rig and start work camping, and work camping is what initially got us into full-time RV life. We were in the process of work camping in Texas whenever we stumbled across another camper that we started a conversation with, and he told us about Christian ministries that actually did full-time RVing and working. So that's what we started doing. We've done everything from construction to fence building to cleaning and painting.
Lots of painting.
Lots of painting, lots of cleaning, but the stuff that we do frees up the full-time people to perform the tasks they need to do in their ministry to make it successful and draw others to Christ.
Yeah. Work camping wasn't really going to be our thing. We did it for 6 months, but I don't know, it wasn't as fulfilling as we thought it would be. We had a lot more time off too, which we didn't really care for that, did we?
No.
We were close to our son, our oldest son, in that area. But obviously he's a young adult and he's pretty busy, so we didn't see him as much as we thought we would. And we had some friends in that area, so we did get to connect with them, being from a military family, and so that was good. But really, like, the community and the fellowship we've had, like, with other full-timers just out on the road. And we didn't find that as much in the resort, I have to be honest, because there was a lot of people coming in and out. There was some full-timers there, but there was a lot of coming and going. And they were younger families, which was nice to be around, but they weren't in the same, situation as us, with him being retired and then me just kind of going along for the ride. I think this fit us better. And 6 months in one place for us was a lot too. We found there was a lot of drama, and we didn't really like getting caught up with that, but we found ourselves at times doing that, and that wasn't very healthy for us. So being in this community is definitely better for us. It's been a growing experience for us too. I've learned a lot about myself, through this process. I've been pushed to do some things that I really didn't want to do, and then found out, okay, they're not so bad as I thought they would be. And the group that we're part of, if you sign up first for a project, then you're the group leads. So we've often found ourselves being the group leads, and so that kind of has you stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, because really you're pushed into having to make those connections. You can't just sit in your RV all the time, and so you have this ready-made community when you get there, and sometimes you know each other, and a lot of the time you don't. It will be the first time that you've met each other, and you become fast friends really quickly over 3 weeks, and that's really nice. And so we have a lot of friends now, all over the place, and they're all brothers and sisters in Christ, which is great. So I think that's really my favorite thing is, I mean, obviously, when you do get to the camps, you really do see how you can help them. Like a lot of the time when you look at the listings, it will say that this is what you'll be doing when you get there. But a lot of the time that's not the case. You have to be very flexible. Like I know you guys have shared that before. And so like you really see where you kind of fit in to that community. Because like right now we're at a care center. And so that's very different for us because we're not parked at the same place that we're working. So there has been some challenges with that, but we've overcome them. I mean, as a group, you don't just really have to work all together. We can't, have one person doing this and one person doing that. You really have to find a way to like jive together pretty quickly. So that's good. I mean, so that can be a growing process. You find out stuff about yourself that maybe you didn't know before. We've had opportunities to work together too, which is nice. So I've kind of got to see and experience how Terry was in his job, like when he was working with how he deals with me. Because there's a lot of things that he knows that I don't, that I'm learning. I even have my own little tool bag
She
now.
does have her own tool bag now.
So do I know how to use them as well as I should or could? No, but I'm learning in the
Are yours
process.
power tools?
Yes.
Wow.
She has her
I
own
do.
drill
I do
and
have power
hammer
tools. Yes.
And she's on sheetrock with me. She
Yeah.
learns well.
Yeah.
She really does.
So I'm good at like taking orders. I'm finding out more than I realized I was.
I think one of the things that impresses me most about this type of lifestyle, like Lou hit on it some, are the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I was working before, I would have friends at work, but they weren't friends. They were acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'd worked with these people for a couple of years, because we typically were at a place 3 to 5 years. And whenever you leave, you don't ever hear from them again. But what I love about this is the work that we're doing and the person that we're serving is our Savior. And those relationships are built on Him, not on each other. And I think that really makes a big difference in the way those relationships develop and the way they endure.
Absolutely.
And really, like, I mean, as you guys know, like, how much you socialize is really up to you,
Right.
And that's okay, too. You've got all kinds of different personalities out on the road. Some need a little bit more time by themselves than others, and that's okay. But we knew you from, like, being at a camp. We're not part of the same group, but we were still
Right.
parked in the same area.
And being able to work
Yeah,
together, like
yeah.
whenever I was driving the tractor and you were building the
Mhm.
fires that night, that's when our relationship started to develop.
Correct.
And I loved it, and that's going to be something, I call it a head start on eternity, these
Yep.
relationships are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, and fellowshipping over food is always a plus, too.
Well, food's work.
Which we're doing tomorrow.
I know, exactly. So, I think it's what you make out of it, You can stay in your RV and only come out, and that's okay. But I feel like, and I've learned, because I can be 50-50 with the introvert, extrovert, and so, like, but I know that sometimes I miss out on things, and it's okay to do that, just as long as you're not, because you are living in a small space, at some point you're going to have to get out.
And we are on our second vehicle and our second rig.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we found out quickly that our first one did not suit this lifestyle adequately for sanity's sake.
Right.
I guess I didn't ask that as part of the pre-questions, but and you may have already hit on it, but if there's a pro getting into this lifestyle or a con getting into this lifestyle,
Oh goodness.
which ones, or what would you say was probably the hardest to do and something that was very easy to do?
Making the decision as far as what trailer to have,
Mm-hmm.
that was probably the hardest thing that we had already decided we wanted to do it.
I actually wanted to do tiny living.
Yeah,
so
she
this was
wanted
our
to have a
compromise.
tiny house, and I didn't want a tiny house. Because to me, this is as
This
nice
is a
as
tiny
any of the
house.
tiny houses, and
Yeah.
I can drag it down the road. A tiny house is too heavy; you're stuck.
Yeah.
So do I want to live in a? You know, she alluded to the fact staying in one place for 6 months in this. Well, if you have a tiny house, you're stuck there all the time in a small space like.
And it
this.
does cost a lot to move into.
It does. They're
Yeah.
like, I don't remember how much.
Well, a
that
couple of
was.
years ago, someone that we knew was wanting to move theirs, and it was going to cost them like over $5,000. And I
to
don't think
move
it
it.
was very far up the road either, but it was enough for us to be like, oh, glad we didn't do that.
But you know, there's pros and cons to every decision you make in life. We don't have the base that a lot of people have. You know, we can't go out and plant a garden and expect to get a harvest from it.
Right.
However, we do capitalize on farmers markets and places like that that we do run across. And there was one place that we were able to go out and get almost 5 gallons of vegetables for $5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pick your own.
yeah.
And you know, something like that is always good. So we have to make adjustments like that. So yeah, you can't have your own garden, but you just find ways around it. But then if you're stuck someplace, you can't go out and explore this creation that God's made and see all the national parks, and like coming down here from the Carolinas, all of the waterfalls and just the beauty that God's blessed us with.
So if this helped you in any way, and or if you know somebody that is thinking about getting into ministry of serving at camps, like us, follow us, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and share us with your friends.
Thank you. Bye.